to have a session between teachers, one side teachers, and one side will be in aesthetic shift. So
you want to record it?
Sir,
Yeah.
we have created an ecosystem in our school.
Okay.
We are the living beings over here.
Yeah.
Teachers are there, trustees are there, staff, parents. We are the living things. And non-living things are computer, projector, mobile.
Yeah.
So even we have all kind of infrastructure over here. But still we do have problems in developing core skill. That is speaking skill, writing skill, listening skill and speaking skill. We are doing lots of effort. But still we are not getting proper response from them. So what is to be done to increase our learning outcome?
Okay.
So I would like to have answer on this.
Okay, I'll do that.
Even though we have a good infrastructure, we have created an ecosystem. But we are not getting proper learning outcomes from them.
Okay,
so what is to be done to achieve learning outcomes from the students?
So, one of the biggest problem is, Sir was talking about infrastructure, which is physical thing. Sir was talking about system, which is the physical things. Sir has talked about everything other than the students, right? Who is the actual true learning and who is the actual return which you're getting. So what has happened is, in the business corporate world, things have moved to focus on more of I need a big campus. I need a good playground. So that the school looks good, the college looks good, people invest more money. But it is what has happened in the what I've seen is, what has happened in the world is that people have lost that human touch. People have lost that personal. What do the child need? What do that child need? More than what do child need, what do that specific child need? So each and every teacher, it's more about, it should be driven from the children to the institute than the standards that college needs this, college needs that, this system is there, that system is there. What do the children need? Figure that out. If you answer, so for example, I did my talk. There are kids coming and still talking. As long as you answer to the problems which they actually have, which is the kid, they will begin to learn. And the other thing is, system is needed because you have a lot of people, there should be a control, there should be a beautiful system to actually run. But what you have to do is, if the students are not there, the system is a waste. Right? So what you have to understand is that, how can we come to the students' level? How can you come to their level so you understand the actual need? Now what we are doing is that, you have students, you have teachers. Teachers have to teach in such a way, and that's all they have to do. The college have to have a certain infrastructure, and that's all we got to do. It's not that. What do the students need? If you take it from that approach, if you come to their level, you will have your answers. And that is what actually drives it back to your system drive. It is not the top level creating the system, it is understanding what the students need and bringing it back. So did I answer the question? Okay. No, it's okay. See, as long as if a sir or ma'am, if I'm saying something wrong, you can challenge me also, right? So that I have something to learn from you. It's not that taking one way, right? If you think I'm saying something wrong, if you think I'm saying something which is not in sync with it, please challenge me or please question me in any other way so that I can learn and say, okay, I'm wrong. Because for me, I highly respect teachers, right? And I don't feel like comfortable. I would love to come down and talk, but sir sitting here and I had to stay in the middle, right? For me, I see when I talk to teachers, I try my best to come to their level because I see lower compared to you, right? You have so many years of experience and I'm just a small young guy trying to, figure stuffs out. But, I'm just, due to respect, I'm just talking, right? Please take that. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now in classroom, even we do face many problems when the teaching and learning process takes place. And we face many problems. Maybe they may suffer from these problems.
Yeah.
So I would like to request all of you, if you have any problems, just you have to ask questions. He is going to satisfy us while giving response. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, it can be anything.
There are many problems we do face.
Yeah. It's not the first time I've done for teachers. I've done previously for teachers too. So you can ask any doubt and just see me as your son. Don't see me as someone who's trying to advise, just see me as a normal son and you can ask me anything. All right, so.
Nobody's having any questions. No, even I don't have actually. See, we all are teachers,
yes.
And as you said, all are experienced teachers. We find hardly some 4 to 5 teachers who are new or who are freshers.
No.
But they too have 4 to 5 years or 6 years of experience right now. All the teachers are well trained, well educated, experienced, and even now they have this technique of handling the students properly. May whatever the child is, out of the experience, बाल ऐसे नहीं पकड़े. Even जवानी teachers के भी बाल पक गए. So as far as I know, the teachers are very well experienced. They may come out even more alternative answers. See, rather than asking, as you said in your speech, fear, tension, this is always there. We can't remove it permanently. This will remain with us. So rather than asking directly, we better try to implement the things. There's no way of telling that we can do that way or we can do that way. Because when you plan something, the things may not go that way. It happens when it comes to you. You start doing it and then it automatically takes the flow. Right? As there's a poem, road not taken in English. I'm an English teacher.
Okay.
So this is the same thing in life. You choose one thing and you think that I would have done that thing, but one thing leads to other thing. So it's the same thing we all the teachers are doing over here. We are doing our best to find out the results from the kids, but it's all upon kids also to take the same thing in the same positive manner. All are coming from different family backgrounds. So it's the same thing cannot be possible for all of the things. Parent support is also required for teachers. If any of the teacher agrees with me or disagrees with me, you may have your own opinion, as I have already put up my own opinion. Any of the teachers. I think all the teachers are wonderful teachers over here, and we cannot question any teacher over here because they are well trained.
Yeah.
No untrained teacher is in this school.
Got it.
So all up to you, sir.
So ma'am, just one point which you have told is that about fear, right? I'm not picking on anything. It is just that one point which I just want to share. If you believe that the fear thing is going to be there for lifelong, it is always going to be there, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that for me, life is all positive, right? There's nothing called fear, there's nothing called sadness, there's nothing called stress, there's nothing called tension. It is all created. It is just because we don't want to change.
My hands are shaking.
Sorry?
My hands are shaking.
Till now.
I was fearful.
Yeah.
But still I spoke.
Yes.
So I was trying to overcome my fear.
Yeah.
So every now and then I do the same thing.
Okay.
I think all are trying their level best to do the same thing.
Yes, correct. So ma'am.
My question is,
Yeah.
we are trying a good.
Yeah.
We are doing lots of report. Why are we not getting results?
So that is what?
This is the question.
Yeah, that is the.
We all are talented, we all are experienced.
Yes.
We are doing all good
Yeah.
reports. Then why there are no learning outcome? Why we are not getting good results?
So that is what is.
This is to be discussed, yes.
Yeah.
Already we have cleared.
Okay, you have told this. Okay, that's great. Action and you heard it. Okay. No, so what happens is that, what I normally say is that if you keep doing the same thing again and again, you won't get a different result, right? So there is something which needs to be changed, or there is something which needs to be differentiated so that it is well received by the.
Which are the things to be differentiated?
Like for example, I'll come back to, because only ma'am spoke up, so I'm going to pick her just as an example. Now, for example, if you as teachers tend to think that fear is going to be there forever regardless of whatever happens, that is the same feedback you're going to give to the children. The problem is, what is a child and a student's relationship? It is whatever you have in your mind, you're transferring it directly. They are spending that 1 hour or 2 hours with you. Whatever good things also they're going to learning, whatever bad things also they are learning. Because if you believe in aura or that energy, when the teacher stands, forget what she's talking, forget what she's saying. That energy itself is spreading. If she has a fight with the family, that fight indirectly affects one of a few kids' attention. If the teacher is not happy, right, that will affect the students one way or the other. But we think that we are doing our best. We think that we are doing our right. If the teacher itself is not positive, I'm dead sure you can't transfer positive. Even though you're teaching the best, even though the most trained teacher, if they have issues in their family, that automatically gets transferred.
What you want to say is that actions speak more than words.
Yes. Yeah.
And the teachers are not only responsible for this.
Yes, sir.
He is the whole surrounding.
Yeah.
What you say is that the teacher may have a calm intention and that positivity.
Yes.
Whereas I am concerned, I am teaching for so many years.
Yes.
I have a switch in my brain.
Yeah.
So when I enter the class, that switches off.
Okay, perfect.
We forget all the things. And when we are in class, we are only teaching.
Yeah.
So that negative energy does not go.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead,
Same
sir.
way, reverse.
Yeah.
The child must have carried the negative energy, and so what we are explaining, the
They
child
won't
must not
understand.
be-
Yes, that's true. So what's happening is that the standard conversation which I normally have is no one wants to change, right? That the biggest problem in this world, what I've seen, is that no one wants to change. They want the other people to change to your sync, right? Ma'am, the biggest problem I've seen in this world right now is this word called generation gap. Okay, I'm a person who believes that generation gap doesn't exist. It's a created word because both parties don't want to improve. Like for example, teachers, mothers, parents don't want to understand about the IT world, don't want to understand about the world, don't want to understand what the kids are actually wanting. They have a certain set of principles. I know I'm doing it right. I know I'm well trained. I'm a great father. I'm a great mother. I know what's good for them. You keep pushing the principles which you have, which they need. But then, are they actually wholeheartedly receiving this? Because for example, a child is totally into, like for example, movies, right? If you keep talking them about science, they will never understand science. You got to talk about movies and then tell them about science, right? So what you do, if you don't change your method, students are just going to go and they're going to leave. They're just going to go, they're going to leave. Some will like you, some will dislike you. But a true teacher, all I know is what they expect is once the kids have been successful in life, they come back and they tell thank you to you, and that's all it matters for a teacher, right? I make sure I go back to always my school, meet my teachers, because a different feeling. What I see is, I always tell, I didn't have a chance to tell to the students over here, but I always tell that when you have a chance to go back to school, go back to school. When you see your teacher, the smile that teacher gives you is like touching heaven for that minute, right? That's the feeling I have, and that's what I respect about. So, ma'am, what I'm trying to tell here is that what you have to understand is that if you don't change, because what if we have all understood that this is the way it has to be, and this is what the training part. If you see everyone, like ma'am has said, everyone is trained. Training is a system. It's not human. Like even sir talked about the ecosystem. Everything is system. System is never an answer to a 20. Sorry, let me just finish. Yeah, it's not an answer to a 20 students, because each student is a human. Each of them have their own issues, which each has to be understood separately. Now, for example, there's 4-5 kids. 4-5 kids has a different problem. Once they have that answer, they will come to you and say, ma'am, what is science? When they have their own problem there, now a kid is really frustrated about career. He wants that answer first. So you give that answer first. Like every kid is searching for an apple. You give that apple, then only you can tell about banana. Not give him banana, banana, banana. The system says give banana, 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 and you keep giving banana, banana, but he wants an apple first. But we don't give that apple first, we give banana, banana. How can he take the banana? Because there is something which will trigger them. And if we can give that apple first, which by talking to them, by just they opening up. Because nowadays the other problem is students don't open up. They're all putting a guard in front of teachers and sitting. Like in the beginning stage, I was asked to open up questions. Now my question is, why are the kids fearful to ask? Right? It could be the internal fear, it could be the family's fear. It could be the teachers not giving the opportunity to ask. It could be that also. Some teachers, I'm not blaming. Ma'am, just don't see that I'm blaming anyone here. I'm just having an open conversation so that at least what I believe is every one talk which I give is benefiting one person sitting in this. That's what I believe. So what you have to understand is that systems are all good. It is when you have a lot of people, you need a system. But solution and the learning experience with Sir was saying, it is one person at a time has their each learning ways. Once you understand that, the students will come and tell you what I have to do, what I have to do, what I have to do. But you have to give that opening to them. If you don't give that opening to them and put a guard, because I know in the beginning stage, all the children were guarded. Yes, 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 I have no doubts, I have no doubts. But then once you start giving one apple, once you start giving the other apple, and then put 2-3 bananas from the side, they will take everything and go. But sometimes some people will take banana, maybe with the banana they'll have all the solutions. Maybe some people only need an apple. Right? Yeah, ma'am, you wanted to say something? Okay.
As you spoke about training,
Yeah.
I said teachers are well trained.
Well trained.
Well trained in the sense they are educated, they have their degrees. Other than that, they are teaching every year continuously, so there also they are getting trained.
Yeah.
They are having training itself.
Got it.
Every year trainings are there. There also they get new methods. It is not only that they are learning by students also.
Yeah.
Students also teach them a lot of things. If I talk about you, sir, how long you have been speaking?
I was speaking
on these things?
Yeah, for 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard someone before first? And then you started speaking?
No, nowadays I stopped listening to anyone.
But initially
yes, I used to listen.
So you used to train yourself?
Yes.
So the same thing teachers are doing. We train,
Yeah.
we do our best,
Yeah.
we try to get the best, but every time it doesn't happen what we expect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I said I am fearful, right? As I said, you took up that topic. I said I am fearful, my hands were shaking that time also. But I try to overcome that fear by speaking.
Yeah.
So when I enter the class, I don't have any fear because I know I have that knowledge which I can impart them or I can give them. I always try to make them to speak, as you said,
Yeah.
speak up. If you won't speak up, you won't get your answers.
Yeah.
But many a times speaking up may cause you loss.
Yes, that's true.
So every time we cannot speak up.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll just
So
give you.
what is like, why, then we have to fear.
Yeah, I'll just give me a second. Yeah. Ma'am, what happens about speaking up? For example, ma'am was saying that when she comes up just to talk, she gets that shiver. Okay. Now, when she's coming and talking and that shiver comes, she's overcoming that fear. When I say overcoming a fear, next time when you stand up, you shouldn't shiver again. If you're still shivering, your fear is still within you. Right? So what, ma'am, what you have to understand is that when you stand up, that fear is coming, you got to actually analyze from where this fear is driven from. Because if that is not solved, every time you're coming, overcoming it with your knowledge or the talking, you're overcoming it. Indirectly, you're suppressing. There's a difference between overcoming and suppressing. Most of the people tend to suppress their fear by running away or taking some action or using something which is more powerful than that. Right? For example, ma'am was saying she can talk. Once she gets to the English class, everything is head on. The fear just steps out. But what happens is that on a longer run, you're suppressing. At once time, it can move to an anger. It can move to a frustration. You might show that stress which you've suppressed could be extracted or removed onto something else which is more weaker to you or where you can show. Because sometimes in the system you cannot show. You might, like ma'am said, if you ask, there is consequences. You can't do that. So at that time, it'll hit you. And normally when I say if your life is all positive, even most of these diseases, most of the leg pain, hand pain and all that is all this suppression along the line which you have suppressed. You can't show it on. So that negativity begins to hit at various parts of life, right? Now, ma'am also said that you put in a lot of effort, but still that return is not coming. You are getting this training with new, as children change, you get this more training. But as sir said, even though you're getting this training, maybe from the children, you're getting some wrong training. That's why, because training can be good and bad also. For example, if I train someone as a doctor, I put him as an engineer, he's going to fail. Right? So training is there. But what you have to understand is that if the training is not related to the children or making them understand, if you keep training, new children will come. I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to use the same method. Children will go with no impact and they're just going to go back. Ma'am, that's why I always say, every problem in the system is because there is not that change which you're taking. If you slowly see that, okay, where do I need to correct? Because I'm not blaming teachers here. We tend to think that we are teachers, we know it all. We are getting all this, we know this. But still, each and every step there is something. Each and every new child is teaching you something. And as you take it one step at a time, slowly your experience or slowly your guidance begins to increase and you can impart that learning which sir was talking about, right? I see, that's what, teachers is a completely different conversation I always have, but now again, I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just openly talking and sharing if I'm allowed to. What happens is that a true teacher is someone who teaches where you don't expect anything in return, right? There will be like, I don't know over here, but I know so many teachers who are just working for salary, right? As long as they get paid, they get it, they're happy to go, right? If that is the teachers which you have, or that is the teachers which you're looking forward to, they can never educate people, right? It is when you tend to think that I'm going to do my best to make this kid pass regardless of whatever it happens, that is a true teacher. I don't care whatever he tells me thank you, or if he gives me that, because some teachers have this good students and okay students and the backbenchers, right? Some teachers have it. See, I'm just generally talking about teachers with my communications which I had with previous teachers. You have this. If you have that thought process, your teaching is gone. Because the day you differentiate one child with another child, you're no more a pure teacher.
So we have to differentiate them.
No, sir, what happened?
We cannot make them equally talented.
You can't make them equally talented, but different children need that different attention. If you give them that, they will bloom. For example, you have sunflower and you have lily. It needs different watering. But we give standard water, generalized water for all, it doesn't work. Right? So some students will be, so for example, if one of the teachers have said that, okay, their parents have, yes, ma'am said that their parents might have some issues. Go as a teacher, get into details, what's your problem? Let them see you as a friend rather. When you have this teacher-student relationship, it is very weak. When you have, I'm your friend, you tell me whatever you want. Yeah, what is happening in your home? Tell me what's happening there. Mother, father's okay. Try to get to the core of their problem, which is where they're sitting. It's only when you talk that, if you keep talking science, when his parents are fighting at home, where's the concentration going to come from? And but there we put backbenchers. Oh, they will go and sit, because they have family problems going on. They have to think about that. Right? They have many, or maybe they have any distraction. Maybe it's mobiles or whatever it is. They're completely distracted. Right? But as long as you don't understand what the distraction is, which means you have to change to understand that distraction. Which means maybe it's mobiles. If you don't know or you will never experience mobiles, how can you understand? For example, your father and your grandfathers, they had a different language. Right? They had maybe the pure Marathi or pure Hindi, which you don't understand now. That has changed. Now it's the WhatsApp world. It's the do you actually chat with your kids on WhatsApp? Yes, some of you do. Some of you don't. That's the language they understand. Their language has changed. Does the school have a group on WhatsApp where the kids can be part of it? Where teachers can share messages? So that is how the system has changed. If you use the same educational system, which is 20 years ago, use it. But then you have WhatsApp coming in, you have Facebook coming in. Are the children getting involved? And that is the only way you can bring them out of that. Right? Like each ma'am should have a Facebook account. Once in a while, look into their children's profile. What are they doing? Have friendship with them. Be a part of the friends list. And slowly they will begin to trust you. And it's when they begin to trust you, is when they begin to open up. And it's only when they open up, the learning process starts. Because most of the kids are coming to school, teachers, I'm scared of teachers, they put a guard in front of you and they are listening. And as long as they put the guard in front of you, whatever you tell them, it is deflecting back to you only. And that is when you get this frustration, I am doing everything, nothing is coming in return. Because they have put a big guard in front of you. And when you put that big guard in front of you, whatever you try, you can't. You have to go to their side, sit with them for some time, understand what is that guard which they're putting in front of me, and then you break it through, and that is when you get into it. Did I make sense? Like, okay, as long as some ma'am moves their head, I'm happy. So at least I'm making some sense. So that is what I believe. It's more of understanding them, giving priority to them, what their each problem. So if you have a differentiation between two children, you're no more a pure teacher. Because you have a biased approach towards teaching. And when you have a biased approach for teaching, there will be some topics which the other kids won't understand. You by default is going to, this is my way of teaching. Whoever understands this, I'm happy with it, let it go. So automatically you yourself have a biased teaching going on. And when you have a biased teaching going on, only the certain students will understand, the other students won't understand. And automatically they are forced to go to backbenching. Right? See, for me, if someone asks me a question, I'll always tell them the fault is with you. Right? Any problem in life is a problem you create. Right? It is not a third person. Because it's easy to say the third person because you don't need to change. Yeah, the students are like that, their parents are like that, I am a good teacher. I am a good teacher, so what can I do so that the student is not like that? Or the parents, I'm being such a good teacher that indirectly I'm taking a parent's role to them, that kid doesn't need that parents, I am good enough to make him to a different level. So don't complain about the parents. If a true teacher is there, you can take the form of the parents, and that will never be forgotten by a child. Right? So that is pure teaching. When you yourself have become a parent, a true parent, where they can come, okay, Papa or Mama, indirectly they're seeing as teachers, coming to you, solving the problem. Right? Did I make sense? Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you, okay. Yeah.
You said what was expected, but we are
Okay.
limited because of the limited time and period, because within the time you have to complete the syllabus.
Yeah.
That is what.
Ma'am, see now.
Otherwise, everything you have spoken, that is.
Yeah, ma'am. Let me talk about syllabus, right? Now, when you talk about syllabus, you got to complete chapter 1 to chapter to certain set, and you have to follow by the system. That is fine. But then, if you can get some free time, right? Like, okay, or I don't know if the system allows you. Yeah, a proxy period. That is when you have. Yeah. That is when you, so each or make it like, okay, staff free time, I'm going to talk to each and every one student, come to me, yes, let's talk. So that is when slowly the guard will automatically go. Once they remove the guard, learning is automatic, right? But it's a difficult task because each person has their own issues, right? Like my most of the conversation I do it by chatting. I solve kids' problem just by chatting. Yeah. So when you do it by chatting, it's a complete ball game altogether, right? You can't see them. You can't, like, kids come to me and saying that they want to die, like they want to suicide, and that's how they come. They had a breakup with a girl.
Sometimes they don't disclose in front of.
Yeah, they don't disclose. While chatting, they'll disclose. Yeah, because now kids are it's difficult for them to ask now because they're on this chatting mode, and that's the language. So that's the method I use most of the times. Like every night, I pick 2-3 children and talk to them chatting, just purely chatting, no voice, no thing, chatting, getting out of suicide, getting out of various other issues which they have. Yeah. So, yes sir.
One question on behalf of Eo Madam,
Yes.
for primary and pre-primary. Especially we have primary and pre-primary session over here, about 5 years old kids, to make them equally talented. Which are the process teacher should adopt?
Okay.
Primary.
The most smaller kids I've talked to is 5th grader, right? 3 to 5. That's the 3 to 5 is what I didn't give to most smaller. For them, the best approach I have seen is storytelling, right? The easiest way you can get to stories, they will open up, right? If you go, okay, like for example, 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, let's make it very simple. 1 plus 1 is 2. If you can give a form to 1, if you can give a form to 2, and that is 2, that is more. For example, you take one apple, and you make it 2 apples, that will click them much more easier than saying 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 1 is 2. For them, kids needs to visual. They are not, the brain processing level is very low. They take it through their eyes first. Ears is secondary, right? And then it comes to the brain processing. So whatever they see first is when they grasp, right? So easier for them. So when I talk to kids, I need to literally create a dog. Like when I talk to kids, like there is a dog story which I always tell to kids, like there's a white dog. So literally you need to show them the white dog. Can you see that white dog? Can you see it barking? They will smile then and there. So, and then the secret of any teacher, if the kids smile or laugh, they remove their guard. That's the easiest way. If they have smiled or if they have laughed, their guard is over. Then they will slowly open up. But if they don't laugh, they're still sitting there like that, they are in the good guard, just listening and going on their own way, right? So best ways primary teacher is to act. They need motion. You can't just stand like this and study or teach on the board. You need to walk, you need to move, you need to create actions. You know, globe is this big. Then they will think, oh, globe is this big. You know, have you seen the sun? You know, and see how bright. You know, that's that big, but that's very far away. Can you touch the sun? And that is how they learn. And that is the best way than saying 1 plus 1 is 2. Multiply, you know, 1 into 1, 1 into 3, da 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 da. That is the best way. Like I just came to know, like a long time ago, how to study the tables of 9, right? Yeah, just by fingers you can actually learn the whole tables of 9. That's an easier way, which is physically understood by kids. So if you find more methods where they can actually understand that part of it, which is more of storytelling, because they understand stories. And you know why? Parents have been telling them stories. That is the method they have learned. In children, you won't say 1 plus 1, 1 plus. You tell them stories. You tell them small kid stories. They are learning from that. Slowly take it to them 1 plus 1. Then directly taking them 1 plus 1, that is syllabus, that is the system. So did I answer your question? Yes, ma'am. Oh, no? Okay. Ma'am, if you have anything which I am saying wrong, please tell. Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, when you say the roots means you're saying family or teacher only? No,
Base of the student.
Base of students, yeah. So, good, yeah. Yeah. So, you know,
I am teaching in 10th standard.
Yeah.
But students who have come from the lower level,
Yeah.
their base is not strong, then
Yeah.
what can I do over there?
No, that is true. So what happens is that, yeah, so the question, what sir, I agree, most of the things what you have said, it is perfectly said. If the root is not strong, what can we do, right? But the point is,
The day we start,
yeah,
that is the ultimate root system where we start.
yeah, so yeah,
So if I'm teaching in standard 5th,
yes,
if I find a student not reading, I'll try to manage that student.
Yeah.
Okay? The day I'm going to start, that will be the first
day,
day that child will
that's true,
school.
yeah, that's perfect,
If I'm not starting, that day will be not the first day for the education.
that's true, perfect,
I should start.
yeah, no, yeah, that's perfect.
Whenever I start, that will be the initial day of
Initial,
that student.
yeah. Sir, when you say that, like sir has told that the root is not strong,
सर बराबर है ना, यही बोलना चाहते हैं ना,
हाँ.
बेस नहीं है तो आगे क्या करेंगे?
yeah, the root is not strong. So what you have to do is, they come into the 10th grade and you have a very weak rooted tree coming to you.
Yeah.
Yes. So what you are supposed to do? Now,
Sir, not what I am, what they supposed to.
they're supposed to. That's true. So what happens is that, if you really look at trees, okay, if the root is weak, the first option you have is to give it protection, right? So it has come with a very weak root. Now your thing is, can I contribute to make a little more strength on its root, which means by giving extra shade, which he didn't get from the last 5 to 10 years, by giving extra water, which he didn't get from the last 5 years, can I actually build back his root or not? Right?
No, it is not possible because we have different sections.
I know it's not
There is no
possible.
contact at all.
So that is what?
The tree is one,
Yeah.
the roots are same,
Yeah.
but the gardeners are different.
Yeah, that is true. But you do your gardener's point. What we are doing is that, right now, sir, from your talk, what you're doing is that he's gone root and I'm done with it. Sorry.
You've done it. You've done your
Yeah,
work.
yeah. So you've done your work. At least if you give one shade, maybe that root can just pick up. When we ourselves say, he's done with it, this is a gone route, forget it, you have given up, all the 5 teachers have given up, what is the use then? He is going to self-destroy himself. If every teacher thinks that, okay, he's my route, let me figure out, automatically when they see doing you, when you give recognition, they will also start doing. When everyone has given up on the kid, where is going to go? If one person steps in, and that teacher can slowly change it around, automatically, other teachers might contribute. I don't know. Right? Yeah, I don't know. So, but the question here is, am I doing my best I can do to build up that role? That's all you got to bother. Because I have done my contribution to the best of my ability, and that is my duty. And if people believe in God, God would, okay, he has done the best teacher to that student. Tick in the box. Then, but the wrong thing is when you say, oh, no teacher's giving, okay, if I put my neck will go. So let me just stay out of it, let him do whatever he wants. Right? When you have to change that attitude, my contribution to the child, I am going to give it best. That is all matters. It doesn't matter this teacher gives, that teacher gives, or this teacher gives. Then automatically that kind might see you holding your hand to build up the root. And maybe he only needs one hand to build up that root. That one shade is enough for him to build up the root, and you will see he'll just pick up from there. Right? So the talk which I gave, maybe 1 or 2 roots have already built up on the kids, and that's only they need to pick it up. But that needs time than we directly say, give up. Like, sir, you are calling me, but I know there are 2-3 students, I need to talk, that is more important for me. Right? Even though I know I did disrespect you for that few minutes, I'm sorry for that. But then there was a root which I need to build up, so that this is not important, that root is more important. I don't care what you teachers think. For me, that student's root is built up, he's done for the day. And that is my focus. And that way you can build up one positivity. Than if I say, okay, you kids go, I have more important teachers to talk about here, I lose that root. Right? Maybe that one root is enough for the kid to build up.
Every time it is not possible.
So again, whatever I can do, whatever you can do, just do it. As long as you keep doing it, you will see the change. But in the mind, as everything I cannot do, it's not in my thing. I don't care. If you take that approach, it's not that you're taking it. If you take that approach in your mind, kids will feel it. The problem, you think that just by talking, kids are feeling it. No, you just stand in front of them. Each child has put a guard in different ways in front of you. Right? And it is quite difficult to open each and every guard. Right? But then each and every guard have a hole. If you find that hole, that guard will break. But sometimes it takes time. Some kids, a doubt I need to tell at least for 5-10 minutes to make them understand. One line they will understand the whole system. So that's why even though in my talk, I talk summary first, whoever wants to understand, then I just go and explain until they understand the whole concept so that it's taken away with them. Right? So we as teachers, the first thing I tell everyone is that you are equal to doctors, you are like the service. Right? How I believe. There is no time for you. Right? True teachers, I'm talking about genuine teachers, you are equal to doctors, which means when the call comes, you have to be there. I've sit late night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock chatting with kids, because my duty is to solve the problem, and that's all matters for me. I tell my wife, I tell my baby, okay, relax, you chill, you sleep, I will sacrifice my sleep, let me sort out the problem first, because if that one child's life is solved up, it's not you are solving that one person's life. There is a family attached to it. That kid can get married out to another family. So basically 2 families you're saving. And then a kid will come in. That's a 3rd family. So basically your one contribution, maybe you might get the return or you don't get a return. But that one contribution is all that kid needs to change 3 families. Right? And that is what our focus should be. We do our best in the best possible way. Whichever child comes to me, that is more important. That is my priority. Let me give him time. Let me try. Because the best part is you as teachers are already blessed. Right? By the God, whoever you believe in, you're already blessed people. You just have to get your process right. And once you get the process right, automatically that grace will come through you and it'll start correcting the kids. But then if you stay in that, oh, this is not my stuff, let me just stay out of it. These are all lost kids. Then that flow will stop. Then automatically you have done something indirectly wrong here as teachers, genuine, true teachers, you have done something wrong. automatically the other kids will start closing. And then they say, yeah, what did I do wrong? I am a good teacher. I've been training my best possible way. I've been doing everything on my limit. But if you don't change that, because that one kid is all you need to destroy your teacher's career. If he genuinely sees, man, this teacher messed up my life. If he genuinely says that, you will see your teaching just breaking down. But that one kid, if you solve the problem, and that kid says, yeah, and that remember says, wish this parent, this teacher have the best family in life, or gets best in career, you will see that will just flip your life, and then you can answer every single question of a child, right? And that is how you got to do it. Never give away any child. You are a teacher, your duty, in simple terms, they are all a patient coming to you with a problem, which is learning. If you see them as patients with a problem of learning and you are there to treat them, I am ready to open. Any time of the day I am available. I am all busy. I have a mobile number given to all kids. Anytime message me. I'll be there. If I can't, I may miss it, but I will chat with you. Right? So that's how it's been built up. So.
Okay, question, sir. Any questions?
Yes. Sorry, sir. Okay, yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sir wants to talk.
We have solved our problems and paid individual attention to all the teachers. On behalf of all the teachers, thank you very much.
Sir.
सबसे पहले मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा स्कूल 38 years हमारे पास लगभग 4 टीचर स्टाफ आज का मैं टीचर स्टूडेंट थोड़ा हमारा गाइडलाइन है मेरे को आज मेरे 5 साल हो गए मैं फ्रॉम वेरी फर्स्ट डे ट्रस्टी था और आज भी ट्रस्टी हूँ तो मैंने इस टाइम ऐसा नोट किया था कि कुछ टीचर्स के मन में फियर डर था सिक्योरिटी या जो भी है सैलरी के लिए या जो टीम के मन में डर था वो डर तो शायद मेरे सामने सब निकल गया है कि नहीं निकला है हाँ निकल गया कि नहीं निकला है हाँ अभी सैलरीज के बारे में भी काफ़ी कुछ किया है समझो जो पहले हम नर्सरी में 3,000 देते थे 10,000 देते हैं प्राइमरी में 7,000 8,000 देते हैं 12, 13, 14,000 देते हैं वैसे इम्प्रूव किया मैं टीचर्स को ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि टीचर्स बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं कोई नो डाउट आप क्लास में आज लेक्चर जो भी है आपका क्लास में तो आप देते हो लेकिन बच्चा जब घर पे जाता है तो उसकी माँ पढ़ाती है उसके बाद कोई टीचर का गुण नहीं होता लेकिन वो माँ बच्चे को पढ़ाती है वो कैसे पढ़ाती है वो अपने से ज़्यादा उसको बच्चे को फिक्र है बच्चे की फिक्र है जब उसकी माँ को बच्चे की फिक्र है ये बच्चे हमारे बच्चे हैं स्कूल में जो आते हैं तो उसको अपने बच्चे से जैसे ट्रीट करके आप पढ़ाएंगे तो ज़्यादा बेटर है मैंने एक रजिस्टर बनाया था मेरे को बहुत दुख है उस चीज़ का कि नर्सरी में जो 5 बच्चे कमज़ोर हैं तो जूनियर के टीचर को हैंड ओवर करेंगे तो उनको बताएंगे कि ये 5 बच्चे कमज़ोर हैं जूनियर के टीचर हैंड ओवर करके आएंगे तो बताएंगे 3 बच्चे कमज़ोर हैं या 8 बच्चे कमज़ोर हो गए ऐसे करके मैंने बनाया था सारे टीचर्स ने 7वीं 8वीं तक जाके उन्हीं बच्चों का नाम डाल दिया इट मीन्स मतलब आप सेंस यूज करते हो या प्रॉब्लम को समझते हो या उसका इवेल्यूएशन करते हो इट इज़ वेरी रॉन्ग अगर वही रजिस्टर आप लेके करके चलोगे तो आपको पता है कि मेरी क्लास में 4 बच्चे कमज़ोर हैं अगर उन 4 बच्चों के कॉन्सेंट्रेट साल भर करोगे तो 4 बच्चे कमज़ोर नहीं रहेंगे ये बात पक्की है कि नहीं हो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि 4 बच्चे इम्प्रूव हो जाएंगे साल भर में होने चाहिए तो थोड़ा सा कॉन्सेंट्रेशन की ज़रूरत है एफर्ट्स डालने की ज़रूरत है बाकी मैनेजमेंट तो आप जो भी चीज़ चाहिए या जो भी फैसिलिटीज चाहिए वो आप बोलिए आपको करने को तैयार है लेकिन हार्ड वर्क तो करना पड़ेगा सुस्ती तो नहीं चाहिए थैंक यू
Just to add on to what Sir has told, it's about the fear thing which Sir has told about the salary. Do I have job security? Do I have all this? In a teacher's mind, this is the last priority. A true teacher. The other one is all contract. No, I know, sir. No, what I'm just adding on to what Sir has told, right? like for me, I do all these talks free. I don't take anything in return. I talk to children just so that they get a benefit. If they get it, if they don't get it, doesn't matter to me, right? So the point here you have to see is that my point is to impart the best of my knowledge, not only what I've learned, which means not only my subject, but whatever I've learned in my life, if I can transfer to that child in the best possible means of modes of method, that will automatically improve that child, right? Which means I shouldn't have the fear of losing my job. If you are a good teacher, students will come to you. But be that first, right? Students will come to you. Like for example, think, you due to some reason you have lost this job, right? But if your good teacher is there, that's community talks. But be that good teacher so that people call you or people want you. People want to be a part of you. Automatically, maybe things can change on a different way. But I always say is that be that teacher first and then talk about their family, their children. Now what teachers do is they talk about the family, their family is all gone, kid is surely gone and I'm done with it, right? No, let me as a teacher see if I can flip that whole family or not. And true teachers, as I said, have a blessing, have a grace. And when you start taking that step, automatically your ideas will begin to work out. Like some people ask me, how do I answer all these questions? And suddenly children ask. It is, you help one kid, you help him, maybe you will have that answer there. And when that kid asks, you have that answer to give, right? But then you have to step up, open up, and then slowly move that guy, right? That's all I got to say. And thank you, ma'am, everyone and sir, for... Yes. Yes, sir.
एक साल पहले मैं और गुप्ता सर गाड़ी में मलाड जा रहा था। मैं और सर को गाड़ी में बैठा था और सर ने बोला सर जो केजी में नर्सरी में पूरे टीचर को हमारे यहाँ 5,000 रुपये देते हैं, तो अगर उनकी पैसे की प्रॉब्लम रहेगी तो बेचारे पढ़ाएंगे क्या? उनकी पेमेंट में 8,000 करने वाला। तो सर आप हमारे टीचर के बारे में सोचते रहते हैं। उन्होंने व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझसे कहा था, जो मैंने आपको कभी बताया नहीं। ठीक है, मैं तो रिटायर्ड टीचर हूँ, आज आ रहा हूँ, कल नहीं आऊँगा, लेकिन आप लोगों के बारे में सोचते रहते हैं। उन्होंने कहा, सच कहा।
Always, he is with us only.
Yes,
always
yes,
he
ma'am.
thinks about them.
Yeah.
See, one thing just I want to share all the teachers and all. See, from the last 4 years I'm working here. See, I'm facing one challenge every year. That is, there are so many poor students in study. And when I ask teacher or students, they are always have answer like, इनका घर का environment.
Yeah.
And even like, when I need to reply to management, Sushmita, क्यों result अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है comparatively to other students? I also reply same thing to sir. Sometimes I go to classes and observe and see the students' handwriting, teachers teaching, and many things. And I answer to same things to sir, like sir, उनका घर का environment, maybe they are economically very poor, or parents are not active because they are. And sir always say, बच्चे equally talented होते हैं when they take a birth, they born with the same brain. But why our teacher is not able to make the students equally talented?
Okay.
And one more minute. And I work in an international school in Delhi. So there I have seen all students are equal. Either they are come from poor family background or rich family background. It doesn't matter because teachers, the syllabus, the teaching technique they are following is making the all students equally talented. But we are failed here to make all students equally talented. And I don't know the exact reason. Till in the 4 year, I am not finding the result. I am I'm helpless for this.
इवन दो हमारे ट्रस्टी भी ऐसे ही बोलते थे कि यहाँ पास में झोपड़पट्टी है, झोपड़पट्टी के बच्चे आते हैं। मैंने बोला मेरे साथ आप क्लास में चलो, आप बताओ इसमें से कौन पुअर है, कौन पुअर है और कौन पैसे वाला है, आप उसके अंदर डिफाइन करो। सब यूनिफॉर्म पहन के बैठे हैं, सब पढ़ रहे हैं। और मैं जहाँ तक मेरा नॉलेज है, जो बच्चा गरीब है, जो पेरेंट्स गरीब है, वो बच्चा ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल करता है और ज़्यादा आगे आता है। आज पूरे महाराष्ट्र लोग रूल कर रहे हैं रीजनल लैंग्वेज में। मैंने इनको बोला आप 2 लैंग्वेज में बच्चों को समझाओ। इंग्लिश है, इंग्लिश की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन मदर टंग में समझाने के सिवाय बच्चा समझेगा नहीं। मैं आपको उदाहरण देता हूँ, मेरा बच्चा इंजीनियरिंग की हुआ है, इसको मैंने बोला एक आदमी को 88 रुपये दे दो, तो मेरे को पूछने को आया 88 रुपये कितने होते हैं। ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रैक्टिकल प्रॉब्लम है। अगर हम इन सब प्रॉब्लम्स को साथ में लेके नहीं चलेंगे तो कैसे होगा। समझो 1970s का जो ज़माना था, आज 2020 का ज़माना आ गया है, इतना चेंज हो गया। बच्चा इंटरनेट कंप्यूटर में बैठता है, स्पेल चेक करता है, सब कुछ करता है। हमारे ज़माने में क्या था, कुछ नहीं था। हाँ, लेकिन फिर भी हम काफ़ी अच्छी प्रोग्रेस करके बैठे हैं, अच्छा नाम करके बैठे हैं। लेकिन क्या होता है कि बच्चे को ये इस तरह से डिफाइन करेंगे, ये इनकी फैमिली की प्रॉब्लम है, दैट इज़ वेरी रॉन्ग। तो आज के बाद वो शब्द नहीं होने चाहिए किसी भी टीचर के मुंह में। आप नहीं पढ़ा सकते हो तो बोलो हम नहीं पढ़ा सकते, क्लियर कट बात है। उसके अंदर क्या है, नहीं चलेगा। उसके अंदर मैं आपको बार बार बोलता हूँ कि एजुकेशन सुधरनी चाहिए, नहीं तो फिर हमको सुधरना पड़ेगा, आपको सुधरना पड़ेगा, कुछ तो होगा आपके बच्चे।
Yeah, ma'am, I'll just quickly answer to you what she has said, and I think sir has told most of the thing, and I've told already previously. It's everyone is born equal, right? Maybe they might have physical defects.
No,
okay.
No, not at all.
No, I mean like, yeah. Sorry. Oh, you know, okay, okay. So everyone is born equal. The environment can be different, but in India, there is great examples when they got the true guru. The students have gone to various different angles. So the question here you have to ask is, can I be the true guru for the child or not? And that is where you'll get, but you have to ask yourself first. Here what you're saying, you're not asking yourself, you're not asking what changes I have to make to change the child. Here you're saying, child is like that, I don't want to change, I am like that, happy, I'm getting the salary, everything is going fine, and that's very. So it is easy for people to blame others, right? Yeah, because that is the nature of, that's a human nature. I don't have to change, so blame. So when you blame, I am good, others are bad. The blaming thing has come into the world just to prove other people are bad, I am good, right? So you put the blame to them, I am good, I am a good teacher again. But if you're a good teacher, why the student in that time? Because if the true teacher is there, you just need 1 or 5 minutes to actually solve a kid's problem and done, right? And if you can do that, you will see the slowly changing. If, like in simple terms, if you want to know what true teacher is, the child should have no issues to come and ask you the most dumbest question in this world. Then you're all true teacher. They'll ask the most dumbest question. But at that time you will say, hey, what dumb question did you ask? Their motivation, biggest guard, they'll put. Right? Oh yeah, this question is good, but let me see this way. You know, you should have asked this way. And slowly they'll open. Right? So, stop blaming. First thing, if you want to change the world, is to blame yourself. Right? What mistakes did I do? What issues I have? Let me fix it, let me fix it, let me fix it, let me fix it. Automatically. And the other thing I told is, like ma'am, one of the things I just want to reinstate is that, even though you switch off your family issues or various fears and come into the classroom, your energy will be felt by the kid. So if you have any serious issues in your family or in your surroundings, fix that. That is the first step to be a good teacher. I'm just
that we don't bring in class right
now. No, it's not bringing in the class, but that is the feeling. You are that.
मैं बताता हूँ, मैं स्कूल में आया, स्कूल का काम करता हूँ, यहाँ से ऑफिस चला गया, ऑफिस का हो गया, स्कूल में कोई काम आता नहीं है, आएगा तो बोलता हूँ कल आ जाओ। उसके बाद घर गए तो घर का काम है, कोई टेलीफोन की घंटी बच्ची नहीं है, किसी का चीज़ के लिए बच्ची नहीं है। बजे की तो ये होगा सुबह 7 बजे, किसी की डेथ तो कोई तो उसका मैसेज आएगा। बाकी जहाँ आप आए हो वहाँ का काम होना चाहिए, करना चाहिए, बेसिकली करना चाहिए। उसी से देश आगे बढ़ेगा। हमारे खाली स्कूल आगे बढ़ने की बात नहीं है, बहुत कुछ बहुत वर्ल्ड में अपन बहुत पीछे हैं। सब बच्चे क्यों फॉरेन में जाने के लिए भागते हैं, 20 लाख 40 लाख खर्च करके, यहाँ क्यों पढ़ाई नहीं होती है? होनी चाहिए, उसका होना चाहिए।
Yeah, and many students come to me saying that they want to go foreign. Like, I want to go foreign, I'm done with India. I said, like, if a true student wants to learn, if the good teacher is there, student will stay in country only. Right? No one wants to run away. Kids, when the first thing when a child comes and tells me they want to go foreign, they are trying to run away from something. Okay, that could be the family, that could be the teacher, that could be the education system, that could be the surrounding. So I said, like, why don't you fix that? If you fix that, won't you stay in country? They'll say yes. Right? So many kids are saying, I want to go foreign. I said, like, what's the problem?
Economic benefit.
Again, economic benefit. Maybe his dreams are so very high, by parents the dreams are kept so very high, he has no other choice than to think about foreign.
Even nowadays parents are supporting to go.
That is there. If they want to, if parents are supporting to go, that is a family decision. That is okay. Right? But when children are running away from, see, most of the kids go foreign, they run away. It's not parents' choice. They run away for something else. But what kids don't understand is if you run away, that problem will come there also. It is just a matter of time. So don't run away. Fix that problem, then go foreign. That is much more better than running away from something and going in foreign. They get into various wrong stuffs in their life. Because I know so many kids who has gone foreign and completely destroyed their life. Why? They didn't get the freedom in school, or maybe they didn't get the freedom in home. They got it in outside country and then use it. Right? So that's all, and thank you. Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Oh, my pleasure. I hope. Thanks a lot. My pleasure. Sorry?
Very nice.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It's my pleasure. If teachers tell me back, I'm blessed. I hope I didn't.
It was nice.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone have their own views.
Yeah,
so
true.
We can't tell
Perfect.
anything.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's for sure. So,
Actually, I think the full thing which you said,
yeah,
and I think the one
totally
line which I
agree.
could tell you, that is when we adapt to mobiles,
Yeah.
older people,
yeah,
we need to adapt to teachings also, progress.
correct. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. The IT thing.
That is necessary.
The IT has come in. So, oops. No, I have it in my bag.
Very nice.
Yep. My pleasure. Thanks a lot. Yeah. If teachers tell me, that's the biggest blessing I have.
No, no, it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well said. Very well
Because
said.
I
and
don't.
very put it up.
Yeah.